it's 6 o'clock, so I will now call the March 8th, 2021 meeting of the Fort Wayne Town Board to order. Join me in the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if we could have a moment of silence for two individuals that were not residents of Fort Anne, but one of them was a psychologist, I believe, at the school psychologist for approximately 10 years. And how do you pronounce Patty's last name, Gretchen? Levesco? Levioso. And Elizabeth Kane. She was not a resident of Fort Anne, but it's a mother-in-law to our fire supervisor, Richie Moore. So if we can have a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. All right. So the first thing we have on the agenda is the approval of the meeting agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting agenda, please? I have one from Mr. Sexton, and I have one from Gretchen, a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Acceptance of the minutes for the town board meeting on 2/8/2021.
Make that motion?
Deb makes a motion, we have a second. George seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next would be the minutes of the special town board meeting of February 26, 2021. Do we have a motion? Motion. Seconded by George. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. We now review the January 2021 financial report. All right, here we go. The checkbook balance was $600,176.03. In the highway fund, we have a balance of $59,639.10. In the youth commission fund, we have a balance of $8,739.15. In the Hadlock Dam project, we have a $240.09 balance. In the Hadlock Park District Fund, we have a balance of $30,657.57. In the Consolidated Health District, we have a balance of $370.48. In the Trusted Agency Fund, we have a balance of $540.94. And the Medical Reimbursement Fund, we have a balance of $5,585.00. And we come up to our savings account balances. In the night class general fund, we have $468,204.09. In the night class highway fund, we have $1,162,326.39. In the New York State class Hadlock Park District Fund, we have $255,694.66. And in the LoSAP Fund, we have a balance of $22,900. That wraps up the financial report. For January 2021. Authorized payments for the bills. Can I have a motion to authorize the payments of the bills, please? Mike makes it.
I'll second it.
Debbie seconds it. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Public comment. Is there anybody from the public that would like to make a comment tonight? Do we have anybody that's interested in making a comment? Going once? Going twice? And see no one here from the public, except our two reporters, if you will. We will move forward then. Reports from town officials and committees. Supervisors report. Well, I do not have much to report tonight. I do have some stuff that we can report up from historical Society, who was in it a little bit earlier, but we can do that with the historic report. She made a report because of COVID. She didn't want to be here when there may be more people here that will not feel well. So having nothing much from my side, unless something comes up as we go along and tracks my memory here, I'm going to turn it over to the board members and we'll start with that. Yeah?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Michael?
We got two things. So I finally have finished reviewing the revitalization plan that was from 2000 to 2008 era. I don't know who else has gotten to review it. Interesting findings in that. It really was. It was actually really well put together. I will say that. I mean, from what I've gathered from just speaking with residents and with people through the town, I don't see much that would have changed demographic-wise between now and then. I mean, we've gotten some younger families, certainly, that's for certain. But I think the things that the people would want or wanted to see then, I think would be similar to what we would see them want now. Infrastructure was big in there, building an economy, a better tax base, keeping it fairly residential, the green space thing, that kind of stuff. One of the big ones was programs for the youth, and that kind of stuff. So I think it really, if we still worked off of that, would give us a good base to really build off of. So that was good. It was long, but it was good. They did a lot of hard work on it. I will say that, and obviously Gail and everybody that put that together was very good. So I think that was great. Going forward, I think like I said, give us a great foundation to work off of and start to bring everything kind of in the next couple of years where we want it. The only other thing I've got is, have we looked into any kind of, excuse me if I'm speaking a different language, I'm going to get into the Facebook and that kind of stuff thing real quick. Looked into ever doing any kind of social media for the town? And I ask that because I look at Washington County Public Safety, Washington County Public Health, you see the state, everybody's kind of on that platform. And I find that they reach a big audience by doing that. I wonder sometimes if we here are missing some of our audience by not having something like that. I don't know what the specifics would be for us to have to get into that. We'd probably find some way to manage it. I'm sure we could do that. I just think it would be a great place for us to be able to really advertise, things that are going on in the town. Actually, be a great place for Mrs. Stark and somebody else to work together to put the tourism stuff on there, all of that kind of stuff. So I wonder if, in going forward, that's something that we could work on.
How would that be different from our website?
So when you get on to Facebook or whatever else, it's everything. So I don't have to specifically, unless I'm looking for something specific, target the town of Fort Anne. It's going to give me a feed that's going to automatically bring that to me. So I'm scrolling through and I'll see, oh, the town of Fort Anne posted something new. Whereas if we put something on the website, it may not be seen, it's not going to be seen unless I specifically go to that website. And in Washington County, I use as an example, when they put up the vaccinations, that was the way that I found out that they were offering the vaccinations. I was able to get a hold of my mother to get my grandmother down there, and that kind of stuff. And that's, I find, that's probably how they're reaching most of their, not necessarily older, but younger targeted audience, in getting that information out there. So I think that would be something that would be good for us to be able to reach the younger population especially. Websites are good, don't get me wrong, but unless I'm specifically looking for something, I don't go to a website per se. I don't try, but I do. Unfortunately, I fall victim to that's where I get a lot of information, is from those type of platforms. So I'm wondering if we could reach more of an audience by doing that. Like I said, I don't know the specifics. We have to find someone to set it all up. I know we go through having the website set up and whatnot, so I don't know the specifics of if we would have to have a third party do it, or I don't know who handles it at the county level. I don't know who, there's other towns on there. I think Hudsonville Village, Hudson Falls is on there and whatnot, so I don't specifically know that. That'll be up to us to kind of figure out, but just something to think about. I know, like I said, if I'm speaking foreign language, I apologize.
Nope. See, at the county level, we have a Department of Information Technology that can do that.
Sure.
And in our public safety arena, Tim Hardy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Tim does a lot of it, you're
Tim
absolutely right.
does 90%
So,
of it.
Sure.
So, and you know, that's a requirement within the department, if you will.
Sure.
Everything else we normally put onto the website.
Right.
Doesn't mean we can't take a look at it here. I think we could certainly explore it and see if there's a way we can do it.
Mhm.
But it normally becomes unless you're, I think it becomes time consuming if we aren't sure.
Oh yeah, there's no debating that. I'm sure it's very time. That will vary. I think most people that are into it can set it up fairly quick,
Yeah.
but it would be time consuming nonetheless. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So, well, something to explore. I mean, that's unfortunately the route that I see things going nowadays. It's where a lot of
That's
information
where a lot of
comes from.
stuff will be.
Sure, especially for the younger generation where they get a lot of their information. So, absolutely.
Unfortunately, a lot of the information gets erroneous, but they get it.
It is, especially when you get into the politics. That's for sure. So,
Exactly.
other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
Yeah, well,
George?
Quiet month, nothing.
Very good. Padlocks all under control?
Frozen over and nothing going on.
Thank God.
we'll see in 3 days.
Yep.
Gretchen?
As far as the bike trail goes, it's completed up to Comstock. The Recreation Committee's been working together, trying to come up with some signage and some ideas on how we can get people to know what's going on in town. We've made a couple of bike loops heading up on the east side of Fort Ann and some on the west side. So if they get to Fort Ann and want to stay here or just have a picnic or whatever and then take off on a different route, they can do that. It'll be signed, or there'll be signs down at the Canal Park or somewhere.
Right.
We're not sure where yet, but in the village somewhere. OC West, I talked to him and he's willing to do the summer rec program again. So I don't know if I'm supposed to ask him but he's willing to do it.
Does anybody have an objection to that? He's done a good job with the program. Yeah, we'll just look at Gretchen too, please.
Good.
See if we
And
can
the
have-
library wants to do some programs too, so we got that
Good.
sort of moving. As far as the Office of the Aging goes, they're doing the meals, they're delivering meals. Again, I don't know if they stop, but they are delivering them. And anybody who is a caregiver can receive the meals. Also, they never used to be able to, but now they can. They have 2,000 frozen meals at the Golden Goal in case the power goes out and they do need meals. So they've stored them there, which I think is great. It says a lot for 40 and too. Let's see. Seniors of the Year. We have 2 from Fort Ann, Joan Degner and Terry Barber, who will be, that's for countywide, or statewide actually, but they represent Washington County. And they'll be honored in the fall because of COVID. Usually it'd be in June. But they'll be going down to Albany to be honored. And Teen Excellence Award from the Post-Star. We've got a senior in high school in Fort Ann, Elizabeth Larley. I don't personally know the girl, but it was a nice write-up. So I think that's pretty neat. Oh, back to the Office of the Aging. They are handing out companion pets. If anybody is very lonely, they can call the county and get a companion pet. At first I thought it was a live dog or cat, but it isn't. It's sort of like a stuffed animal that moves. So it's kind of pretty, that's neat. And the Kingsbury Senior Site in Hudson Falls has reopened. They're on Oak Street, Hudson Falls, and they will be providing a small lunch and activities during the week. So that's good, that's coming. Everything's getting back to semi-normal. I think that's it. Barb, do we have a senior times here?
We have a couple back there.
Yeah, okay, good.
I'm not sure if I have the newest one, so I tried to keep one, I'll keep that one if you're done with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll leave that here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Rich, is it good the time of year to start training lifeguards? Does that room start about sometime in through here, or?
I've talked to Mike Gray and we're working at getting a place to train them. We need a pool.
Too cold at the beach?
So I talked to him last week and he's gonna get back to me as soon as he can, so we're working on that.
And the other thing I wanted to mention too, that I meant to do it and I didn't mention it. George brought it up about the lake, everything's quiet. I did have a couple phone calls this weekend about the fire engine lake again. There was a bunch of people down there, I don't know what it was, a party or.
Oh, I know what it was. George knows what it was. I think, was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
This past weekend.
Oh, this past weekend. No, I don't know when that was. I know some of the families had a children's ice fishing derby.
Yes. Yeah.
That was, all right, but that wasn't this weekend.
No.
What, they had a fire on the lake, you said?
No, they had a lot of people on the lake. They had a party or something at the far end of the lake
Oh,
on the
okay.
north end. And of course, probably.
fever parties.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they go ahead and they plow out large rinks out there and all kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah.
It's their lake, what are you gonna do about it?
Exactly, absolutely. That's what I said to him. I said, I don't know what the town can do about it, nothing that I'm aware of. I said,
They're not partying late at night as far as I can tell, or you don't see anybody ripping up and down the lake.
Right, so. Just, same old thing. You still got
Yeah.
We always have people.
a lot of complaints, so. All right, so let's go to the town clerk.
The other thing I have is I gave a check to the bookkeeper for $349.13, which is double what I gave you in January, so.
Good,
Things are getting a little bit better each month.
I'm smiling.
very good. All right, any questions of Barb, anyone? Then we'll move on to the highway superintendent, Paul.
A lot of crazy storms in the last couple months. I haven't been here the last couple meetings. Everything seems to be all right. Trucks are all up and running. The new truck showed up. I don't know if everybody heard that. The new single axle that we ordered. So far, so good. It's got 6,000 miles or so on it. Everything's top notch. Started cutting a few trees here and there. You gotta remember last year, our tree season, brush season got put to a halt when the pandemic started there. We got sent home for 8 or 9 weeks, so we didn't get, that was our brush season. So we're starting that, taking some trees down, cut some brush, done some patching. We got some of the summer equipment in, starting to get ready for road maintenance. I think, we posted roads, started posting roads for 8 tons today. Any trucks that shouldn't be there, feel free to let us know, we'll see what we can do. Sheldon Rock Road was closed last Wednesday. Probably gonna be at least another 2 or 3 weeks anyways. Haven't had too many complaints this year like usual, but subject to change with warm weather coming. Other than that, it's quiet.
Very good, very good. Now, you mentioned Sheldon Rock, so what I wanted to do at this point in time is mention Kathy Robertson, who was with the trust fund that worked on getting us the first grant for the Battle Hill out of Washington, D.C. She sent me an email that says, "Hi Sam, hope you're doing well. Passing this along to 240 hikes. There's a thing that says 12 incredible hikes under 5 miles everyone in New York should take. And it lists 2 of them from Fort Ann. And one of them is, come on, open up here. That's Tannerville, that's Watkins Glen, that's Newcomb, that's Lake George, that's Cascade Mountain, Keene, there's Mineville, there's Newcomb. 9 Corner, Lake George, Pagoda. Here we go. There's one in Mineville. Sleeping Beauty Mountain, Fort Ann. Is listed as number 7 on the list. And number 10 on the list. 11 on the list. There we go. Number 12, Shelving Rock Mountain, 40th. Just what we need.
Actually,
Just what we need is the place.
while we're on the subject, I was approached from a lady from DEC that took John Solin's place.
Yes.
Years past, we went down and did maintenance on our days off and whatnot. I don't know if the town, she called me, wanted to know if we'd be interested again this year. I don't know, I mean, it worked out well. Garbage was a terrible issue last year, I know Gretchen made it down in there.
Yeah, I did.
But then they called me at the end of the year and they were gonna go down with like 7 tandems and pick garbage, you know, and
Yeah.
that didn't happen, but they wanna know if we're interested in maintaining Daisy Clearing and beach sites this year. I had no problem with it, but I don't know if the town board does or wants us to.
Is that just Daisy Clearing or
No, they go down along the beach and pick garbage and along roadsides.
Shelving Rock area then?
Yep, no, yeah, it's pretty much the whole Sheldon Rock area, yep. We've done it in the past, worked out well.
Yeah, if you have no objection to it, and there's no one on the board that has an objection to it,
Yep.
well, I'd say go ahead and go. You agree with
Okay,
that?
so I'll see, I told her that last year they called us, I don't know, it was the beginning of November, and thought we were gonna go down and do a bunch of it, but it's kinda late then, but I told her she got an early start before April this year, you know, where we could make some plans, maybe we could do it.
Okay,
Is that where you'd go on Fridays?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's great.
very good.
yep, they reverse all the time, equipment and all that.
Yep. Very good. Yep, it works out. That's great. Okay, thank you, Paul. All right, the next on the list would be the enforcement officer. All right, he's not here tonight because he had his COVID shot and was sick for the last 2 days, he said. So, we all have a copy of his report here. Building permits 1 house and 1 pole barn. Demo 0, 13 phone calls, voicemails, 9 emails, 9 texts. I'll discuss with him again about getting a little more specific on his report. See if we can tidy it up a little bit better. Anyone see anything they got to comment on his report? All right. We'll move on to the historian, who was here earlier and gave her report, a very short one. Basically, handed out. So Historic Washington County, picture that she got some places that want to put signs up. A couple Eagle Scouts that want to put signs up. And Paul, who would be the point of contact for that at the state? Do you know, is that down?
For his Adam Nims, I believe, right?
Aaron Nims?
Yep.
I don't think you
Call
were
me in
here.
the morning, I can get you his number.
Okay.
It's,
I don't think you were here when we were talking about it, Paul, but it's Eagle Scout project, they like to do it up by the battlefield. And then put where you enter the battlefield and when we exit the battlefield. The sign, it just used to be where the medical hospital was at, located, that type of stuff. So I told her we try to coordinate that forward, see if they can get the signs approved. Okay. So new business, is there any new business to come before the board this point in time? Jeff, any new business you think we ought to be dealing with that we're working on that we may have forgotten about?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. All right, takes care of that. And now we're on to the resolutions. Barb, would you like to lead us through this, please?
Sure. Resolution number 32 of 2021, authorizing Supervisor Hall to sign the Haley and Aldrich proposal for annual Hadlock Dam inspection services. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby approves the 2021 contract with Haley and Aldrich for dam inspection services for the fee of $4,400, and further authorizes the town supervisor to execute the requisite agreement.
We have a motion for that.
So moved.
George moves it, Mike seconds it, is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, carried.
Resolution number 33 of 2021, modify the 2020 budget by transferring funds between appropriations due to shortages in specified accounts. From the general fund, A 1990 contingency fund, $10,965, to the 6 different categories listed in the same amount of $10,965. Now therefore be it resolved, the 2020 budget shall be amended by transferring funds between the appropriations as indicated above.
We have a motion. Michael, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Deb. Discussion. Okay, and I know we have a shortage in these, and I can't tell you exactly what it was that made those. It was a combination of some of the counts of several different things. Like the supervisor's contractual, that was the getting registered for the Zoom, so we can do Zoom. Get us all up to speed on that. We have capabilities of doing that, which may be something we end up doing here in the near future. And then the employee benefits and the unemployment insurance. The unemployment insurance is a big jump. That's something we try to budget for, but you can't always. Helen did the best she could at what we had to work with, so. That's the only discussion I have on it. I can't give you an itemized breakdown on it at this point in time. So, is there any further discussion? Let's do a roll call, listen, please, Beck.
Councilman Sexton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stark,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilwoman Witherell,
Yes.
and Supervisor Hall.
Yes.
And can I just mention, every March, after Helen has closed out the books, that's when we always do these resolutions, it's in the month of March, so it's not unusual. Resolution 34 of 2021, to modify the 2020 budget by transferring funds between appropriations due to shortages in specified accounts. Hadlock Park District Fund from Parks Employee Benefits Social Security, $19, to Parks Employee Benefits Retirement, $19. Now therefore, be it resolved, the 2020 budget shall be amended by transferring funds between appropriations as indicated above.
May I have a motion, please?
I'm gonna
Michael makes it, George seconds. Any discussion? Let's do a roll call, please.
Councilman Sexton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stark,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilwoman Witherell,
Yes.
and Supervisor Hall.
Yes.
Resolution number 35 of 2021, modify the 2020 budget by transferring funds between appropriations due to shortages in specified accounts. Highway Fund from machinery equipment, $14,598, to machinery contractual and employee benefits other uniforms in the amount of $14,598. From general repairs contractual, $2,078, to general repairs personal services, employee benefits other uniforms, $2,078. The 2020 budget shall be amended by transferring funds between appropriations as indicated above.
Very good. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
George, seconded by Gretchen. Under discussion. I would just ask Paul, do you have some idea what those might have been on it?
Some of the repairs, our repair budget went over, I know, me and Helen were talking about last week or the week before.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah. What was that?
Just issues with some of the equipment that was larger. It's hard to
Understand.
pinpoint a budget on repairs. I
Yeah.
don't know what's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Well, the good thing is we have money there we can cover with, so
Right.
it's a good thing. Okay, if there's no further discussion, then we do roll call, Bart.
Councilman Sexton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stark,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilwoman Witherell,
Yes.
and Supervisor Hall.
Yes.
How much of 36 and 37 do you want me to read? Resolution number 36 has to do with the amending the service award program point system when special response rules are in effect during the COVID-19 pandemic, and this is for West Fort Ann.
All right.
And it's the same exact resolution for number 37, and that's for the Pilot Knob Fire Protection District.
All right.
I don't know how much you want me to read.
Let's start with the first part, with the first whereas, and the second whereas, and then we'll discuss the rest of it through.
Okay. Whereas, as authorized by Article 11A of the New York State General Municipal Law, the Town Board of the Town of Fort Ann established a service award program for the active volunteer firefighters of the West Fort Ann Fire Protection District. And whereas active volunteer firefighters earn service award program service credit under the service award program point system adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Fort Ann.
Okay, Jeff, are you familiar with LoSAP at all?
Yes.
Portion of it, can you discuss a little bit of it?
Sure. As the way it's marketed and produced is it's an incentive to have volunteer firemen and firewomen And by doing so, you get increased benefits. And there's a point system that's in play based on calls, years of service, and different opportunities and activities that the volunteers participate in. When the lockdown happened, a lot of those activities weren't able to occur, like training and things like that. So they essentially reassessed how points can be earned, and we're providing essentially bonuses for those firemen and firewomen who are continuing to serve during the pandemic because of the increased risk. The executive order that authorized the changes expired in September 8th. And prior to that, this board approved the amended point system to, encourage those two fire companies. And the executive order was extended. So what this resolution does is it continues the program from September 8th when the prior executive order expired, as long as the executive authorization continues. So instead of having a cutoff date, this is essentially auto-renewing until either one, this town board says we're done, or two, the executive order is rescinded by the governor or the legislature.
Thank you, Dick. Barb, could you read the last, the first page, the last result there? Whereas, I'm sorry. Or this legislation chapter 113 on the first page,
Oh, on the first page?
the very bottom.
Okay, whereas this legislation, chapter 113 of 2020 of the laws of the state of New York authorizes the town of Fort Anne Board to adopt a resolution to amend the West Fort Anne Fire Protection District Service Award Program point system by adding a new category to the point system under which up to 5 points per month, prorated for periods of less than 1 month, may be awarded to active volunteer firefighters during the period when special response rules are in place. And whereas by resolution 78, 2020, the town board, the point system was amended pursuant thereto.
Okay. So the point I wanted to make here was just so we all understood that we were authorizing them to prorate those points, and they were going to be able to change the system for that for this period of time.
Right.
So they'd be able to get the training and get the points for the training they were able to do.
And the last time we had to pick how many points
That's
there were,
correct.
so it's gonna continue at 5.
That's correct, yeah.
Therefore,
Yeah. If everybody's in agreement with that.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so I guess we're now on to the resolve. And I think we can go right to the last section of the resolve. Which would be the last page, Barb, at the top. Census amendment to the West Fort Anne Fire Protection District Service. Does that make sense?
Okay. Since this amendment to the West Fort Anne Fire Protection District Service Award Program point system is intended to prevent active volunteer firefighters who would have earned Service Award Program credit under the West Fort Anne Fire Protection District Service Award point system during 2020 to 2021 from failing to earn credit during 2020 to 2021, the adoption of this resolution is expected to have little, if any, effect on the annual cost of the West Fort Anne Fire Protection District Service Award Program. All other provisions of the West Fort Anne Fire Protection District Service Award Program shall not change as a result of the adoption of this resolution, and the program shall continue to be administered by the Board of the Town of Fort Anne in accordance with Article 11A of the New York State General Municipal Law, as such law is amended from time to time.
So I guess my question would be, Jeff, before we put this on the floor, because it would be a question I would ask in the discussion. So what this basically is saying is just a way for them to earn the points they would have been entitled to, had they been able to drill at that time. It's not gonna cost us any extra money. It's just a way of them being able to get the points they couldn't get during the shutdown.
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a motion to move this forward? Michael, Dirksen seconds it. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say an aye.
Aye. So,
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
Councilman Sexton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Starr,
yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilwoman Witherell,
Yes.
and Supervisor Hall.
Yes. Thank God you're used to that. That's it. I go through the same thing at the county. The secretary takes it before I go for my meeting. she highlights in yellow, everything I got roll call. Like we do tonight, I just keep steamrolling right through. Okay, so this one is, this next one is going to be, why don't you just read the whereas it starts at the beginning of the bar. This is a duplicate of the exact one we had. But this will just name and point out that it is, we are doing it for the fire protection with police.
Resolution number 37 of 2021. Whereas authorized by Article 11A of the New York State General Municipal Law, the Town Board of the Town of Fort Anne established a service award program for the active volunteer firefighters of the Pilot Knob Fire Protection District. And whereas active volunteer firefighters earn the Service Award Program service credit under the Service Award Program point system adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Fort Anne.
Okay, so everything else is the same as what we just read in the other one. This is just specifically for the town of, or for the Pilot Knob Fire Department. So if I can get a motion to move that. Mike, George seconds. Deb seconds as well. Gretchen seconded as well. So is there any further discussion on this? If there's now an entertained motion, which we have, and we'll go discussion, we'll go to the roll call.
Councilman Sexton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Starr.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Councilwoman Withrow.
Yes.
And Supervisor Hall.
Yes. And the reason we don't have one yet for, we don't have one for the 40 Fire Department is because as of currently they are not involved in the LoSAP program, and they weren't interested in seeing about getting into it and get the information, so we did have a meeting to discuss it with them. And then it was in the middle of COVID, so they haven't gone any further on it. Probably next year they're gonna take a look at, see if they can get it to the program as well. We're starting to get some younger firefighters now, as kind of an incentive. Some of the older ones have done it for years. They said, well, we'll just pass on and continue on, because the town's been good to us, over the years. Which is fine, but it's something we can give back to help with their membership and keep the force going. I think it's an expense we're gonna have to, or should bear. We don't have to do anything, but I think it should be a course that we should take at in the future when they make up their mind that's what they wanna move forward. Any public discussions? Anybody else have anything you wanna bring tonight? Jeff, anything else you think you need to be followed up on that you can think of?
No, no.
Okay, Gretchen, you all set? Paul, you all set?
Good.
Right? George? Okay. Barb?
I'm good.
Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.